Well, okay. Alrighty. Huh. Strange. But whatever. We will work with it. All right. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone that's here is good. I don't actually know if there's anyone here, which is very odd for me. I don't know if something happened, but usually there is at least one person that makes it here, or maybe the user list is just bugged. But there is the distinct possibility that I could just be sitting here talking to myself regardless, but that's okay. Sometimes that's what streaming means you have to do. Welcome. I hope you're all having a wonderful day right now. It is currently April 6th, Wednesday. Yeah, okay. April 6th, Wednesday, 3 p.m. or 3:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Checking in on the stream. I want to see if anyone's actually here. Suppose I'll give this stream some time, because if no one... like, if no one shows up today, I guess I will probably skip out on streaming? Not entirely sure what's going on. Oh, oh no, your thing's too high up there, but it's Zen. Hello, Zen. Welcome. And thank you for resubscribing for... Oh no, my widget's not up. I'm good at this, I swear. At tier 1. Like me. 17 months, that's a long time. Okay, no, it is actually just Twitch. Okay. Hold on, I need to restart something. There we go. Alright, Twitch was showing me that, like, I literally had 0 people watching, which is usually actually impossible. Not because I don't have people that watch me sometimes, but because like, the stream elements bot that, like, moderates things, should be here at all times. But thank you for your sub. I was very confused for a bit. It was gone, so... I hope that today we can clean up the rest of the Ace Attorney case that we started about a week ago. It's been about a full week. However, I was thinking about putting them on YouTube, and then I kind of listened back to the streams on YouTube, and so I kind of delayed it yesterday, because I was like, the audio quality sounds so weird once it's exported. Like, that's the thing, is that I've actually listened to my voice back on Twitch, and it sounds fine, and then I'll export the video to YouTube, and the quality just goes like potato. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly is going on with that, because, it's not great, you know. I was like, oh, I'll put those videos on YouTube, but the, you know, it just wasn't working as I wanted it to. Wasn't as good quality as I wanted it to be. Which bothers me. I think that bothers a lot of people when the quality of their... Oh, that's weird. It's not even showing up. I think that bothers a lot of people when the quality of their work isn't up to what they want it to be. But I think it's a pretty common occurrence. Is you always want your, you know, whatever you do represents you, and you want whatever represents you to be a fantastic performance. But yes, today I've made an excellent discovery that has uncursed my life. So I drink coffee. I drink it pretty much every morning at this point, because, you know, I'm an American adult, and we tend to down coffee regardless of the bad side effects, because, you know, it helps us wake up and feel good. Hello, Sketch Pixels. Welcome. I don't really like the relax tune here. You know what? Let's go FTL. I know I change the music a lot, but that's because sometimes I talk and then, like, I'll listen to the music and it bothers me. It's so weird, because I like the songs too, but, like, I'm so picky about what song I'm freaking talking over. There we go. FTL is always a good one. So yeah, I've been making coffee with... We know, you were almost killed by coffee one time on stream by that death coffee. Oh yeah! Yeah, the death coffee, I remember that. So that was made in a French press. My preferred method of making coffee is French press because it just tastes better. You get like the full taste out of it because the coffee actually sits with the coffee beans and gets to just soak it all in and gets maximum flavor. However, the French press is a pretty slow process, and cleaning it's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. So I don't always feel like doing it, and we have a coffee machine. I just realized today, I felt like I was crazy, because I felt like every single bit of coffee I put in the coffee machine tasted the exact same. Only for me to discover that there is a strength slider on the coffee machine that, had been put down to minimum. So So I was like, why does every single coffee I drink just taste like slightly altered water? Like, it just tastes like bitter water. And then I upped the strength and I'm like, oh my god, I can taste the flavors now. And I feel like I've uncovered a revelation. I've been drinking like coffee for a year now with this machine. Not a year, maybe like, yeah, about a year actually. And like every day, no matter which like flavor I get, no matter what I do, it just, the flavor doesn't come out. And then I was like, wait, what's this button do? And problem solved. So I'm very happy today. I no longer have to drink my slightly flavored blackened water every morning. Did you try it on max strength? Yeah, I did. I actually like my coffee extraordinarily strong. I don't know. It's not like a hard-ass thing or like I was taught, like, real men drink coffee black. It's because if you drink black coffee, you get like a flavor you can't really get anywhere else. And I think that's the most intriguing part about it. Because what a lot of people will do is they'll take coffee, and I'm not saying this is bad, they'll take coffee and they'll end up adding so much milk and sugar to it, like, you might as well have just, like... I feel like you might as well have just gotten chocolate milk at some point. Or some such, right? For me, the bitterness of coffee, with maybe a little bit of sweetness, or just straight bitter with some flavor, is the taste I come to coffee for. Because... you know, I can get sweetness out of anything. I can dump sugar into any liquid and make it sweet. However, it's the pure taste. It's kind of like tea for me as well. I don't mind sweet teas, but I prefer tea as is. But that's a personal preference, you know. I don't blame people for not being able to drink, like, maximum strength black coffee. But yeah, everyone has their own little caveats to eating. Like, I have a friend who will only eat corn dogs with mayonnaise on them. As well as I have another friend who will only eat everything, they eat absolutely everything and drink everything with hot sauce in it. More specifically, Tabasco. I have watched them put Tabasco in a milkshake. I have watched them put it in soda. I've watched them put it in their Chinese... well, no, Chinese food's actually not that uncommon. But, like, they put it in everything. I've watched them put it in s'mores before. Because they just have to have hot sauce on everything, because to them, food is absolutely flavorless unless it's spicy. So, it's, different people have different tastes, and it's just a constant reminder that as you make things for people, you're never going to be able to please them all. Hey, Lightspar, welcome. Let me recurse you with a coffee tidbit. In Fire Emblem Three Houses, a support between Constance and Happy has Happy refer to coffee as hot bean water. Oh my god, that makes me so upset. It's the same thing as that moment in Avatar where people just call coffee, or they call tea hot leaf juice. It is not just hot leaf juice. Uncle Iroh is correct. These people are uncultured. Absolutely uncultured. There's a reason Happy is my least favorite out of the Ashen Wolves class. That's the reason right there. Okay, it's probably not just that, but still. Okay, Twitch is flipping out right now. Okay, you know how I told you all that, I was just sitting here absently on the stream because... I'm gonna turn this music down for a second for myself. I was sitting here absently on the stream because I was like, oh, there's no one watching. According to Twitch, I have 0 viewers right now. Can you all raise your hands if you're actually here, please? I would like a vote. I would like a recount of the people that are currently in this stream. So I can see if Twitch is just losing it right now. Or if it actually, like, disconnected me or something, and there's no one here right now. I'll raise a pipe. I like that. Okay. I just want to make sure that people aren't getting, like, disconnected before I start the stream, because that would suck if, like, you know, every 4 minutes or something, everyone gets DC'd and they can't see what's going on. It's not fun. You know. I'm somewhat here, but stream is buggy and probably mostly on my end. I think Twitch might be dying. I think Twitch might actually just be dying today. Because it's not on my end, I can tell you that for sure. When it is on my end, I'll, like, wholeheartedly admit it, because I can see right there when there's an issue. I can see when there's, like, bitrate problems or encoding problems. Also, someone asked me this on stream last week when I was playing Strive, and I'll just go over it really quickly, because people are kind of curious. Someone was asking, hey, Zeno, what do you use in terms of, like, settings to make your audio sound so good? Well, for the first step to good audio is literally just a good microphone. You don't have to start with something this expensive, but I'm using a Shure SM7B, which is a pretty hefty microphone, costing around $500. But for a person like me who's just been constantly talking into a mic for 6 years, it's a good place to start. It's plugged into a device called a Cloud Lifter, which powers the mic without needing specific phantom power, such things, and then it goes into an amplifier, basically. And that's the part that you all pretty much hear. But the most important things, I'm just gonna go over this really quickly, because I don't want to, like, take up the entire stream with my audio nonsense. But for people that think I just plug in a mic, that's not true. However, I do like very minimal audio settings, because I feel like the more you mess with it, and the more filters you add on, the less humanity that comes through the mics. So, first off, I have the obvious noise gate. If I turn off the music here for a second, so none of you can hear it, and you listen to my mic, you'll notice there's not really any sound. However, if I turn off the noise gate, if you have your sound up, you can probably hear a little bit of my fan blowing in the background now. Or me, like, rubbing my hand on my pants or on my shirt. So that's essential. I use a noise gate. I use an audio limiter, which I'm not going to turn off, but I will say if I turn it off, I will start peaking rapidly. And then lastly, I just use a compressor. I don't use the default Twitch one. I use one from a plugin called Reax Comp, and it just makes me sound better. That's all. That's all I use. Okay, well, we're gonna get to the video game now, if Twitch doesn't die, because it seems like it's really intent on acting up today. And I know I haven't been keeping up with my schedule making, and I apologize for that. I want to get back to making schedules on Twitter, because I know people really like that, and it really helps them out figure out which days they want to watch me stream, and what times I'm streaming as well. So, sorry I've looked away from that for a little bit. I've been very busy this past week. Or weekend, I should say. So yeah. Bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum bum. The soundtrack to The Great Ace Attorney is so good. I have been humming the Pursuit theme like non-stop since the last time I played this game. Like it has just never left my head. It's crazy how much I love this soundtrack, actually. Alright. And then lastly, it's going to move my model a little bit this way. Okay. Here we are. Ace Attorney Chronicles Part 3. Who's ready for more yelling? I'm just gonna have to stop looking at the view count because I don't think it's accurate anymore. You know, I have to live with what Twitch is showing me I have. Which is okay. Oh, that's right! This lady just stepped up last time. Hello, Deutsch. Well, I understand. You're the first sentence, I'm already unable to speak. This is a good start. Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant to the defense, but why this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Ha! A judicial assistant, and a woman, no less.
Damn, Ouchie! We are... we are not even. Not even a couple seconds back into the game, and Ouchie's already... already, audience hate women train here. Dude, you were just frothing at the mouth over a pretty lady. Like, damn.
The rules state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify.
I think that's what they're doing. Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I mean, I understand because of the times, like, it's feudal era Japan. Rules are different, obviously. I'm not gonna be like, oh damn, why isn't he adhering to modern day standards? But still. Like, that's not good. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense.
Ha! You're too late, little girl. This trial has already been concluded.
5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
But, Your Excellency!
I am most grateful. Who exactly are you? Sorry, there's no time. Please accept this for now. What is it? A report about something? Written in English? It's Giselle Brett's research. The Englishwoman's. After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical facility and borrowed this paper. Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she? So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case? I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself. Oh, no, of course not. Special characteristics of curare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting. Curare? What's that? Never heard that word before. I've never heard that word before. Ouchie literally went from Simplord to Be Gone thoughts.
Time's up!
Ouchie, that was nowhere near 5 minutes.
The prosecution demands immediate removal of this female trespasser in the courtroom.
There was too little time for me to read in detail. But I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it. This is wonderful. Thank you. Woo! Alright. Goodbye then, and good luck. She seems nice. You have had long enough, Counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. Oh, I forgot she was still just standing there. I ask the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Rinosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance. Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence. That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Yes, unblinking eyes bulging out of his head. That is what a true Japanese warrior looks like. Write it down, people. Well, Miss Brett? Yes, Your Excellency. Hold on a second. I actually... I left my mouse unplugged for too long. I need to plug it in. If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer?
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I have to politely decline.
Excuse me, but did I stutter? Did I ask? Was that a question? I don't think so. I love how the judge is like, could you spare a moment? And then she's like, no, and he's like, did that sound like a question to you? And she's like, it was a question though. You literally asked me. Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realized it was phrased as a question, however, I must ask you to treat that as an order.
I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention? Hold on, I actually want to examine this before we... A poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. Okay. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Alright, that's a poison that may be used. Instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Route of entry. The above-mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound. The burn mark? Yes, it wasn't poison. He wasn't poisoned through the drink. It was the burn mark. Such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have application as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. Okay. Jeebus. Well, I have the evidence. Here you go.
Yes!
Miss Giselle Brett, we understand that you were studying under Dr. Wilson at Yume University, doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison. What? Poison? Where are you going with this, counsel? A toxin known as curare. I don't know if it's pronounced curare or curare. 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 Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death. What? What complete and utter nonsense? Curare, you say? I've never even heard of it. You wouldn't have done. That is a typo. That is definitely... That's definitely a typo. You wouldn't have done. What? What do you mean? I mean that wait, oh no, I'm sleazing his voice, why? I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist? Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they can never identify curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison. What? Order! God, calm down, you people. Counsel, does this poison truly exist? According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. And it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with the curare suffer instant death. Wouldn't that make them really unsafe to eat, though? I guess not. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett? Oh, damn, he looks flabbergasted. Trumpery! Trumpery, I've never heard that word before. These aspersions are utter trumpery. To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would surely have noticed. That's true. What do you have to say about that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. It said in the book that they would be paralyzed. It said right there. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain. According to this, however, it's... Oh, that's right, he can't actually read it himself. But I guess he got, like, a Cliff Notes. However, it's the other way around. What do you mean, the other way around? The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used. Explain yourself, Counsel. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible! Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he would collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed. But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes the muscles that control the respiration to fail. Oh, Jesus! No breathing. Respiration? In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware. Oh, that is so terrible! That is nightmare fuel. No, 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 no. Oh, that's so awful. That is like one of the worst ways to go I've ever heard. You're just consciously suffocating and you can't move, can't make any facial expressions, don't know what's happening. Oh, that's so bad. That's hideous. To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison. And you're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, actually contains this terrifying poison. This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there's no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense. Ahem, if I may. All these facts. You think you're so clever, but you must be taught. Okay, Jesus. It is you who must be taught. Of course. Dear lady, all women are queens except you. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? We found a poison worse than the one from Trials and Tribulations, yeah, actually. What? You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act. Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime. That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree? Enough of this! I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules. What's so funny? Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett? He looks like he's so done with her.
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't see him. Why not? It's because it wasn't administered through there.
Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys.
Sorry?
To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics is laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers!
I mean, like, it's already obvious that the drink is not the way it was administered. Wait, what are you doing? Oh, this judge just lost some major common sense points here, though. Yeah, I agree, because she just drank evidence. That should really penalize her. She drank not only the evidence, but all the evidence.
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair.
Now everyone waits for her to instantly die.
Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned.
So, no Curar. The bottle was clean, is that what you're saying?
You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
Oh, yes, Miss Brett.
I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Yes, dear lady. I'm most gratified with all the assistance you have given. This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. But how? How did she swallow that whole glass and live to tell the tale? Don't understand it.
Well, I suppose, if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade... No, it said charade, but I said charade to add some flavor to her personality. will make for interesting conversation at the next party I will attend in London.
There has to have been poison in that bottle. Doesn't there? There can't have been... Because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. Come on, Renosuke. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water contains no poison. As I thought, there is no poison in that bottle. What? Why, Renosuke? Isn't it obvious that there's poison in the bottle? She'd be dead by now. Sometimes your unadulterated naivety really astounds me, but sometimes it's in need of a good staining. Till it is as dark as your uniform in the ways of the world. Oh, is that what this color's supposed to represent? That was a guileless ending to a promising line of inquiry, Counsel for— what? Okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding this? Okay, maybe my judgments are wrong here? It contains poison, I guess. The culprit did put Curare poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious.
Objection!
Fool! Are you blind? There's no possible way that bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw
Miss Brett drinking the water from it?
That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think.
And I believe— wait, what did he say? I actually skipped past that. And I believe that complication can be explained. So what I was thinking, which is perfectly reasonable, is because it says that it has to be entered through the skin, or like through, like it was often administered through blow darts. I thought mayhaps she had put it. No, because that wouldn't make any sense. Because he would have screamed, yeah, that's right. He would have screamed if he was still conscious enough to put his arm on the plate. I'm just misremembering some of the other details in the court case because it's been such a long time. I definitely want to take less of a break between cases as I did. Like, I literally took like a whole week off from playing this game, and I really shouldn't do that. How exactly? I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. So that the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be. Very well. The defense truly intends to assert this claim. I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume this supposedly poisoned water unscathed? Alright, so... as this says... Can I examine this really quickly? I need to read this again. Through a wound such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Obviously, she didn't pull out a blowpipe in the middle of the restaurant. But, that gives us an idea. Because we have this burn mark of him already being stunned. We have the purse. We have the knife and the fork. I don't remember if we ever talked about him being stabbed by the fork or something. Think, Xeno. Think a lot. Let's see. Because this just kind of threw off my theory a little bit. I'm gonna go back and read that book. Instant paralysis. Above mentioned and the poison enters. Any hints for me? No, I don't want any hints at all. I'd rather just think this through myself. That is how I like to play these games. Puzzles are no fun if they're solved for you. The above-mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound such as that inflicted by a blowed pipe dart. Okay, well I could think of the fork or the knife doing that, but I don't remember there being a fork wound that was talked about. Paralytic, the toxin could have application. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full body paralysis must be found first, or the patients would die of suffocation. A solution must... Okay. This is it. It's in this book again.
Yes!
The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report. It's not a valid explanation. No? After all, we don't speak English. The report is utter gibberish. This impudent young scoundrel's trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency. I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I'm just reading Susato-san's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. What? You're telling me that we are in the middle of a major case that involves the entirety of Japan and another country, and there's no one in the courtroom that can speak English at such an important... That doesn't make any sense. That is ridiculousness. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to this riddle? The synopsis, the special characteristics, the practical applicants. I have to look at how they categorize this again. Because they're making me point this out in a very weird way. Oh, I see. It's at the top. Practical applications. Okay. It's written right here under practical applications, I think. Oh,
Really? Go on. Well, think about it. You want to know how the poison was drunk without it taking effect? That's a practical application of, the poison's use as a drink, maybe?
Objection!
Okay, that's not the line of thinking I was going along, but I guess we have to focus on the fact of how it has to be implemented. Ryunosuke. What? Read properly. Thanks for the concise advice. Okay, like, the only thing that's making me really confused here is that the game forced me to say... Oh my god. The game forced me to say that they had taken it by the bottle, but then it immediately backtracks on me and wants me to focus on the other part of it. This is definitely one of those things where it's like, I get what it wants from me, but it's not being very clear. Because it's probably talking about this, through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart, which is this. Because that's super weird to me that, like, the last line of thinking is, like, I said, no, it's not quite the bottle. The bottle is probably the thing that makes the thing work. And then it, like, backtracks. It's like, no, how is it applied? So, you know. We'll talk about special characteristics, I guess. We've been hearing a lot about this Cure poison. And it's left me curious about something. Oh, Council? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years. To lace the heads of arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes? And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat. Get to the point, please. But if they were to use laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. Wait, that's where we're going. Oh my god. Oh my god, we are like... This is the meme of, like, stepping to the top of a staircase. You... whatever. I know I sound very frustrated right now. It's just because there's multiple logical conclusions you can make before going, hey, the body has poison on it. Like, I don't know, it's just a little silly. Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Okay, that's what I asked, but I figured, like, maybe you could just cook the poison out. There's a lot of poisons that actually do work like that. That if you, like, cook something that has been poisoned, you can still eat it. Oddly enough. Good gracious, Council. No, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense. Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When the Cure enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects. That's what I've been trying to point out for, like, the past... Okay, whatever. What? Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew the Cure's special characteristics. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking the water without any danger to yourself. You meddling little... It's alive? It lives? It's not fake? Doesn't that mean it just poops on your head, though? Whatever. Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out... You're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I fail to see how it possibly... So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly.
What are you trying to say?
Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw.
Schoolboyish? Flaw?
As even your brain has managed to deduce, Curare is safe to ingest. But it seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus.
Oh yes, well, of course.
Gastric suckers? What are they? So if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? That's right!
Good gracious!
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no?
Order in the court!
The logic holds if the lady and the professor drank the... Oh, you know, I think I just realized something. So the way this describes that it works is that... the above-mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. But then the solution is needed for a full death.
Are you trying to suggest...
Yes, this Curare poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that. What is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense. Almost rage-like.
Oh no, he's getting mad.
And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire. To take down my prey. Damn.
Oh, let's go! He said objection!
I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well that there's no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead.
Counsel, sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. As we now know that this poison is completely harmless when ingested, why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the Curare?
So, my...
There's a part of this I'm still missing in my brain. That's not making sense to me because the order of events and how long it's been since I've actually, like, done this. But it's because of the order of events that occurred. Because my original thing was like, oh, it's the burn mark, right? That's the thing that's causing all the issues. But that can't be because he would have screamed. He would have screamed a lot. Like, yeah, it's not gonna work. But I think it's because of... What did we deduce about this? It's either because of this, or because of this wound. But the wound doesn't make much sense to me because, you know, he got that afterwards. I think there's a detail about either the post-mortem report or the medical report card. I want to look at it again. Just to remind what it says. Clear record of some kind of medical treatment. There's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction with the use of anesthesia.
extraction, so he had a tooth out. Just like before he went out for lunch. Huh. Hmm. It's impossible to imagine not being able to feel pain, though. There's a cautionary note at the end from whoever wrote it. It says, no food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while the anesthesia wears off. No food or drink. Well, I know he ordered carbonated water, but does that count? Does that count as something he can't drink? I don't know. Oh man, I'm a little stumped here, gonna be honest. It says, why would Dr. Wilson alone have been poisoned by the water? Let me think here for a second. Why would he alone be killed? Oh, not the water, the curare. The curare. Oh, I'm so dumb. I am so dumb. I just thought of this. I'm so stupid. I'm so fucking... Of course it is! He had a tooth removed. That's an open wound. It's in his mouth. I was right about this. At first I was thinking that like the dentist actually did something bad. Duh. I don't know how that didn't occur to me. As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. Fatal difference. The toxic effects of curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside? Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Whoa! Miss Brett, you have acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you are well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. So that's it. You use that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are so... puerile? Puerile. Go with that. What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. What? Huh? You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. Wait. No, no, no. No, no. No, 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 no. Don't... No! I mean, it could just slip. You're practically admitting that you're guilty. This is a literal admission of guilt. If you just go and destroy evidence, like, you should immediately be arrested. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. No! She should be in jail! It's the English woman, she has smashed the bottle! And in the Supreme Court, what a terrible blunder. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of water from that broken bottle as possible at once. You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. That seems like shoddy dentists to leave an open wound like that on a tooth removal. At least put cotton ball in there or something. Yeah, I guess I wasn't really like... I wasn't thinking about the fact that that could be considered an open wound. Because, at least in my mind, because your gums have so many, like, vital arteries in them that can be, like, access... Or not vital arteries, but, like, so much cardiovascular stuff going on in them. I assume that that would count already, even without an injury, but I guess not. Really gonna destroy evidence in front of a courtroom. Literally what I thought when the judge gave her the bottle. Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking too, but like, this is the most ridiculous, like... Because here's the thing, if you give someone evidence in a courtroom, which you shouldn't do, but if you do, and they destroy the evidence, it's like, arrest them now. Arrest them right now, especially since I was clearly intentional. It was 100% intentional. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there was really poison in the bottle, or not. You. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution? Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady. That's right, and really looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So of course the only person who could have shot him in the front is the little schoolboy. No, you killed the victim that day using Curer. And then in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime. You waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor. Before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest, with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor in his chair around. You see? You had every opportunity to commit this crime. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence. Exactly! And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
He's meditating right now. This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now... Is she really going to get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene! Ryunosuke. Yes. We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. In my head? You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend on. Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. What I saw, what I felt. Every color. Don't tell me that on the... Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? Yeah, that looks kind of like blood. That looks a lot like blood. Just saying. Also, can we really use your
Your mind is evidence? Like, that's not a thing we can do. Whatever. There's a clue. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Don't you? Wink, wink. I hit the desk. Come on, then. Let's wipe the smug smile off that Englishwoman's face with some evidence. All right. I can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all of this. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been is. It's here somewhere that the clue that shows... Your Honor, I would like to present my memory as evidence removes brain. All members of the court gaze into my flashback. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It's like, what? Yeah, here.
Take that!
Inspector Hosonoga, answer me this. Yes? What is it? Oh, he's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Attention!
Wait a minute!
Shut up!
Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on, there was a splattering of blood. What? Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case, because he's facing the other way. Take a good look at the photograph, and the relative position of everything here. Yeah, the bullet didn't go all the way through the body, and he was facing the other way, so that couldn't have happened. The blood would not have ended up there in a nice splatter. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way that blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Ah! Yes. For the blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor as you were. Giselle Brett, I beg your pardon.
Attention!
This is beyond ridiculous, fabricated nonsense. Is the court seriously expected to believe something that the accused has apparently just remembered seeing? God, I'm getting real tired of your shit, Ouchie. Like every time I present something, you're like, are we really going to do this? Is this allowed? Instead of like actually refuting it in any way. God, I want to be done with you. I want to fight a real prosecutor, not you, you piece of shit.
Hold it!
Was that him? Oh no, it was him. This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean... Yes, I took the plate, in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice. I love this dude. I think right now this guy is my favorite character in the game. As of this moment. Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it, now! Inspector!
The court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir. Sorry for the delay. Here's what you ordered. The steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it? Of course there isn't. Quickly, Inspector. The blood man. Show the court. Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure. Can we check, like, under the plate? Like, it might have, like, run under the plate. No, no blood. No blood anywhere. But no. That's impossible! I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. But if it was splattered over like that, it wouldn't have all run under the plate or something. Or maybe she, like, soaked it up with the bottom of the steak and there's blood on the bottom of the steak. That's a possibility, too. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There's blood on the side of the plate. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see, this is why She honestly reminds me. I think there is actually a Wonderful 101 character that looks exactly like her, now that I look at her. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. Wow, throwing that racism out in the court. I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire. Maybe the goose drank the blood, who knows anymore. I believe we may finally have reached a conclusion in this trial. Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over. Huh. This sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest. Thank you, Ouchie. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Was the plate I saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? No, we're looking at that right now. Right now! No breaks, Ryunosuke. Can't find anything out of place. Is it on the bottom of the steak like I thought? What? Huh? What in the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin. The Koban coin? Oh my god, I forgot about the first two witnesses. That dude was going crazy looking for his Koban coin. And the hallmark is from the Hoei era, I believe. No, I don't mean what is it? I mean, what's it doing there? Wait, did you say it was a Hoei Koban? Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. Imagine it's very valuable. This isn't the first time today that there's been talk of a Hoei Koban. I've heard of pearls before, swine, but I've never heard of bullion and bullion. And I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means... I certainly never expected to find a precious coin underneath this thick cut of meat, so... She used all this confusion to acquire this Koban coin. Well, I guess that's what she was trying to do, but the investigator took it away? Or something? Or maybe he was trying to get it? I don't know. Well, we'll see about this. It's from the Hoei era, too. That would make it really quite valuable. It's well marinated in the juices as well, look. What are you thinking of eating it? No, but the next time I order steak in an expensive restaurant, one thing's for sure. My heart's going to be racing as I lift up the meat and beer underneath for a prize. I think you might have the wrong end of the stick about this, Ryunosuke. A Koban coin underneath this steak. There's only one logical explanation. Alright. This is it now. I've lost. Ryunosuke, it's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what.
Believe in myself? Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself. As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection? That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? Yes. Your Excellency, please wait! This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth. The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak. Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more necessary procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett. We must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied with all reasonable doubt, or that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court what you're alluding to.
Huh? What in the world? I literally just examined all of this.
I think it's a Koban coin. It's like the one we looked at a little bit ago.
No, I mean, what is it? Okay, no, we can just skip all this. We heard all this before. I guess this is just in case I didn't look at it. Oh, it's a magic stake that prints out coins. Certainly never expected to find a precious coin out of this thick cut of meat. Oh, am I examining it? Is that why? That'd make it quite valuable. Okay, damn it. Sorry, I went through all this dialogue. I just didn't realize there's a % button here. I was just trying to click on it. Present!
Got it!
Got it!
Good gracious, that's...
Koban?
What on earth?
Ahoy, Era one at that.
Miss Brett,
This is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question, is it? Tell me. Why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat? What a ridiculous question! How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what it is, but I want no part of it. I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat? That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in the moment of distraction.
yeah. Have you ever been cooking a meal and then suddenly like, oh no, whoops, my ancient Arabian knife fell under the macaroni. My bad. Oh, sorry, I accidentally got a piece of Aztec gold in your smoothie, sir. My apologies.
Objection!
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency. Yes, Counsel? A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now.
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway. Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant.
Even though I'm the one on trial here? The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin to explain what it's doing under that steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of that Koban coin that was found underneath the beefsteak is...
This guy. Where's that?
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer, the owner of the Rasute, Kiro Korakuta-san. God, what a name. Kyuri, as in Mr. Cucumber something. Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable.
Ah, yes.
The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct?
Yes, Your Excellency.
I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Koban coin when it happened. Yeah, he was looking for it. At exactly the moment the gun was fired, the gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hoera Koban, my prized coin.
Then this Hoei-era Koban, do you mean to tell me...
Objection!
No, please. Why would Korakuta-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and its plate? This makes no sense.
Yes!
Which is why I'm asking to bring Korakuta-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. I was wondering, like, the relevancy of those witnesses seemed to just, like, disappear midway into the case, and I was like, well, I guess they're not important anymore, and then you see the coin and you're like, holy shit! I'm sorry, sir, that my pirate doubloon got in your mashed potatoes, sir. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find that it's a key element in this case. Is there a part 4 to this case? No, there's not, okay. That baby. That's a lot of witnesses on trial. What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize that it is time for... it's dinner time for little baby Ido. I don't know why I gave him a Russian accent, but it's what we're gonna go with, even though he's obviously Japanese. When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves.
Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs, forced to bear false witness. And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice. Worthless, withered antique. Nothing more I have to say. Have I to say, the sun is set on this Rasute shop's owner's existence. Be that as it may, Korakuta-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, have you ever seen this Koban? Whoa! Oh shit, it got in his foot! Oh! Oh no! I don't know if he, like, caught that to protect his baby, or if it just fell on his foot. Yeah, yes! That's it, the one! The very one! The very exact one, that is! That, the resplendent, splendiferous Hoei treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be! As I thought. Young man! Enlighten this decrepit old fool! Put me out of my misery! Where? Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. You found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices. Sandwich? Soaking? Seriously? Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident. Which means... somebody must have hidden it there on purpose. Somebody concealed my Hoei treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate. Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing? Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonoga. I mentioned this earlier in the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case. Oh yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation. La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. a number of such incidents that have been reported to the Police Bureau. Wicked crimes indeed. We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being afflicted. So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it? Yes, I took on the job of a waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief. So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work at the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but... the identity of the person who stole and hid Korakuta-san's Koban is all too clear. What? What? I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Korakuta-san's Koban and hid it under the steak? Duh.
Take that!
Yes. Seems like a likely candidate for a Koban thief. No, come on, Ryunosuke. Huh? You shocked me, Kazuma. Not as much as you shocked me. No one could have approached the table unnoticed. Even if you're a crazy fool, you couldn't have missed that. I'm not sure you should be oh. Duh. Okay, I get it. It's you I was calling a crazy fool. Maybe I'm on the wrong track here. Shit, I'm actually, like, I'm getting dangerously close to losing. I don't believe I could have heard you correct. Yeah, that's right. But she's the one who ordered the steak. Oh, I get what happened. So, he talked to the Englishman about the Koban coin earlier beforehand. And during that time, he somehow acquired the Koban coin. Into which, immediately after, he met with this lady who acquired it again. And I'm a little lost here on that, but we'll probably get cleared up on that. I don't believe I've heard you correctly, Counsel. Let me hear your opinion on this matter again. I'm gonna guess it was John H. Wilson.
Take that!
Yes, this seems like a likely... What? No! Okay, I'm legitimately confused now. What? I guess the only other person has to be Iesa? Because I thought that was a perfectly reasonable explanation. Oh no, it's Liasa. So I thought this was a perfectly reasonable explanation as to what was going on here, but I guess by process of elimination it has to be him? And I can't be wrong or else I fail the case, I guess, so...
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be you! Sergeant Liasa Noza. How? How dare you? You monster! Monster? I stole that Koban coin, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet. But it wasn't me, it was Ido. Ido's the mastermind behind all this. Oh, you mean your baby picked it up from the table or something? You would push the blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Noza. It's actually possible. Babies do grab things sometimes. Ow! Whoa! Oh, damn. That baby is actually a mastermind. What? Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Liasa Noza, preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. What? That baby's neck is going to be really hurt. Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages that the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing
to the recently ended conflicts remain in place. And I have heard that it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes? All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you're stealing things at the restaurant. This place is heaving with money. Every 3 days I go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time. Sounds like he doesn't want to bother with a knife and fork, even. Which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man with his koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are. I was all set to leave the steak. I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang! Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished, Ido too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Like, I feel for the guy, but it's still illegal. But I really do feel for him. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time? Well, Miss Brett. Of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency? Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Wait. Hold on a second. I actually just noticed that. Now that he talks about that he didn't use a fork. Hold on a second. I want to actually look at the court record really quickly. Yeah, I just noticed that. These aren't knife cuts out of the meat. The person who ate this bit out of it, I think. There's a... It looks like there's huge bite marks out of the steak, but this side's completely flat. Huh. Very bizarre. Something I didn't really notice. No nonsense, is it? Well... As for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you're free to leave. God damn it. Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day. Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. No, it's just... Something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. Jarred with me? I feel like there's a contradiction in there somewhere. Something that didn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. Trial will be... I mean, he already did kind of excuse her. He said she could leave.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett. What is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction?
Objection!
I didn't actually catch it. I'll have to hear her say it again. What new student nonsense is this? Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke? Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. As for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. Picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. It's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Yes, I'm right. What she said exposed an undeniable contradiction. Yeah, but that... So that's the thing. He wouldn't have moved the steak to the other table. I'm guessing I'm overthinking this, and that's why it took me so long to get that. But he wouldn't have moved the steak to the other table. Like, he would have put the coin under the steak and just done. Why would it show up at their table? It doesn't make any sense that he'd run across the room and put it on a different table. Especially when there's just a murder right there. When you need to see evidence, counsel. Miss Brett's words are truly contradictory. Where's the evidence to prove it? Where is it? This one or this one? I think it's gonna be this one. Wait, then where's the steak that she ordered? That doesn't make any sense, because she ordered her own steak, didn't she? There's another contradiction as well. And I have a feeling I'm scared to press this, because if I'm wrong, the case is over. But, like, my current idea is that, like... Those bite marks are huge, and there's so many contradictions. I'm just gonna go for it. Whatever. We'll clear it up later. Oh my god, I was right. I was actually right, thank god. The photographic print of the scene taken immediately after the incident occurred. What's interesting is the plate of steak that you can see on the victim's table. The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed. Yes, go on. More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed. Now you're just splitting hairs. Yeah, where did her steak go? What's the deal with that? Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as very unnatural? Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? It's extremely obvious I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett. Noticed what exactly, Counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. Of course she did! She's a refined English gentlewoman herself. Then take a good look at this steak, in particular, the edge where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks here. Meaning it's not her steak, which we already knew. Oh! It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all. But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry. Oh, she's freaking out now. Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course, of course. So we'll all be over in a blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Just leave everything to... Wow, she just doesn't care. I've heard enough. You irritating little spectacled samurai relic. Oh, of course. Dear lady! What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the steak have for her. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? because they don't match up. Yes, now at last it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten out with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw someone or somehow seems to have disappeared. We're almost there, right at the end. I feel it. Most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. What exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency. Everything? Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase, typical Japanese empty threats. How can you be so sure? Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet. Hasn't been? What? But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean the evidence does not exist. This is absurd! The trial has run for several hours already! You said there's evidence yet to be brought forward? The other steak, I would think. There can't be! I don't believe you have it! I don't. But there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. That person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to. It will solve every remaining mystery about this case. I really wish I could say I knew where this was going. But I don't think I do. I'm gonna guess that they're talking about Satoru Hosonoga, though. Because he's freaking... He held on to every piece of evidence! Very well, I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence? If you lose here, I will literally throw you out the window. Well, I mean, in my opinion, there's only one person that's been collecting all the evidence, and it's Satoru. What we're looking for, I honestly don't know. This is like, this far into the case, I'm honestly a little lost in, because, you know, he probably picked up a plate that day from one of the two, probably hers, which would, oh wait, no, I get it now. He would have taken her plate away. Maybe even forgetting about it or containing the crime scene evidence. And since there were two plates, and the plate was at that table, he took hers away, which would have the blood on it, which would prove everything. It would prove that they were shot from the front. I get it now.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonoga. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No, I'm not saying that. Come on, man, calm down. Everyone's attention has been focused on the steak with the teeth marks. Yes? Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak, as well as admitting to stealing Korakuda-san's coin. He told us that he'd slipped under the steak. You watch it, Cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak? Tansha? Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal. But that makes no sense! That plate was taken from the victim's table! Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire. Well then, how do you explain this paradox? Exactly! Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over. You did switch the plates? Well, after it happened, when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hid the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. I mean, yeah, I guess. I suppose I called it ridiculous because I assumed that in a room full of people, there is no way he would have had time to grab his steak, run to the table, switch them out, run back, and put it there. Like, I don't know how you would do that in a restaurant without anyone noticing. That seems ridiculous. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. I guess that's the spot that would happen. Oh, hello, Parrotbot. Welcome. Happy to watch you live. I just watched your Apollo series and now watching your Fire Emblem series. Oh, I'm glad you like them. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one on the foreign lady's table. Damn, I really didn't think there was time for that, but I guess there was somewhere. Right after they left, I guess. You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done. That baby's so happy. Unbelievable! However, fear not, Prosecutor-san. What now? I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform. That is all I did, sir. All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
So if Sergeant knows to switch the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonoga. Yes? Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but there's also the sergeant's. That to preserve the evidence, you had taken both. Oh, boy. That's correct. And please present it to the court now. Oh, that was a 3D shot! I saw that one! The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot. I know a bunch of people are typing things, but I want to stay focused on this for the moment. I will get to the chat in a moment. This is such a hype moment.
Shut up!
What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat. It can't have the slightest bearing on the case. No, you're not wriggling your way out this time, lady. I beg your pardon! Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why this steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you, no? You're the one who decided it was a problem, not me. The reason the defense asked to see the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing. He thinks he remembers. I'm quite aware of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear splattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. The pursuit theme slaps, I agree. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. God, this theme is so good! Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and the plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Please tell me you have it. Please. Yes, sir! Oh, I love this guy! He's so cool. Sorry for keeping you. And there it is! Here is the other steak and its plate. Please, feel free to examine it. The bloodstain. It's clearly visible, look!
Yes.
And it's eaten normally. Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim. It can't be. In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. Ugh! That's right. Miss Giselle Brett. It's you! Oh no, she's having a heart attack. Outdone by a Japanese me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No, no, no! Oh my god, it's alive. It's really alive. What? There are little baby chicks in there! What is going on? How many birds do you have in that hat? What? What? Kazuma doesn't look fazed whatsoever. Kazuma's just like, yes, this is completely normal. Alright, to answer some of the things people wrote earlier. Sorry, I was very in the moment and didn't have a chance to, oh, it's going by itself. Did I turn on autoplay on accident? How do I know if autoplays? Oh, that's how. Sorry, I'll read that in a second. It was just weird. Okay. Let's see. Wait, why is it still going? It's just going on its own. What the hell? Gladly, Your Excellency. It's when I go, okay, you know, I can read it now. I'm not touching anything. Last Case of Apollo Justice? Yeah, I love the Last Case of Apollo Justice. It's one of my favorites. Will you be uploading these to YouTube for rematches? Yes, I've been working on uploading them to YouTube, actually already. It's just they had some quality problems. I didn't quite understand why they sounded the way they did, and I'm trying to fix it, so the first couple of episodes, my voice does sound very different than it does right now on Twitch for some reason. I'm trying to find the reasoning behind that, because, you know, I want the best quality possible. But that was the initial plan, was to upload all these to YouTube. I'm gonna be uploading the first 3 cases before I start, not the first 3 cases. The first 3 parts before I start on Case 2, so that way, if anyone wants to catch up with the case, they can on YouTube. And also, speaking of FE, what do you think about the new Kid Soren unit in Fire Emblem Heroes? Yeah, I actually posted about it on Twitter. The kid units are adorable. I love the idea behind it. I also love the fact that Ike's sword is full-sized. Alright. Gladly, Your Excellency. What were they saying before this? Oh, it's because when I scroll down it... Okay, that's what was happening. I listen and watch them at work, so it's really distracting from my boring work. Well, I'm glad I can help. Cosmo, just a normal day in a court of law. Alright, hold on. I just want to go back and see what they said, because I missed it. No, not the court record. History. Most becoming unbehavior for English gentlemen. Forgive me. Well, Miss Brett. You literally just threw out racism in the courtroom. And you're like, yeah, forgive me. I was slightly racist. I had a gamer moment, some may call it. Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using Cure. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. My professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water. Because curare is unheard of here in Japan.
Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water and it would be all over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone. And leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table.
That would be me, I suppose. I did a weird inflection there.
Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you had decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point. So I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment.
Planned to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man.
I happen to know that the professor always carried a gun. Oh, hey Souls. Thanks for the 100 bits. Thanks for cheering me on.
What'd you think of the music with the undercover cop? I don't remember the music from, Apollo Justice that well. Like, I remember it, but I don't remember exactly.
I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of curare in my handbag. And my own pistol concealed under my skirt. Well, thanks for the 1 bit as well. Under your skirt?
So I was right. There were 2 guns.
Yes.
And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Place where you were sure that I would not notice it. That I would notice it.
And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I'd intended. And then, as you bent down to pick it up... Bang! I used my finger gun.
That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point he was already dead.
Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared.
Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside.
That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around.
Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he'd picked up the gun.
So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Your Excellency.
Yes?
I wonder. Might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san.
Wait, what? Is she just leaving? She just going? I remember, like, Apollo's pursuit theme in, like, Claviers really easily. It's just like, when someone says, you don't remember the theme from Situation, or, like, do you remember the cornered theme, or, like, by name, I just never gonna remember them. The pursuit themes are probably the only ones I remember. It would seem this trial had finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be. Taketsuchi Ouchi does not lose. What to the likes of this rookie student?
You better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? Yes?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten.
You've become conceited with age, Counsel, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. What? Is that legal? Is that not assault? 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Ouchi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. Jesus! Damn! Kazuma, did you really have to do that? This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case. Epicness indeed. Thanks for the bits again. I thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country has opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring in new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law that awaits, but what will it look like? I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency. Oh, he looks bothered by that. He's looking away. What was that about? Why did you look so grave all of a sudden? Ah, never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yes. In you I sense, how can I put it? Unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency. So this is where you probably got the idea to become a lawyer from. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty. This court is now adjourned. The Supreme Court of Japan follows the rule of cool. It's okay. Just like D&D. Also make cases so much longer and annoying. But only the prosecutor is scum. Yeah, science can do that. Oh cool, there are cherry blossoms. Oh man. Defendant's Science Chamber 5. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it! I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial. Ryunosuke. I was so turned on in that room, you wouldn't believe. I nearly ripped my shirt off. You finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. You owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place. Sorry, I have to do it. Sukiyaki! Just say it because Chip says it. From the place on Yume University Street, don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off. Oh, it's the lady.
Susato. Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence. Huh. Our trusty judicial assistant, you worked hard for that result too, you know. Oh no, I didn't do anything. Oh, thank you so much! If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out. Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate. Your father? Oh yes, of course! Forgive me for intruding on the court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba. Oh yeah, that's right, that was her last name. Speaking of Mikotoba... Oh, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Oh, thank you so much for following, Parrot Pop. Hope you enjoy your stay here. Oh, Xeno, I'd like to tell you a little tidbit about the original game here that may be important in the future. In the OG translation, John H. Wilson was actually named John H. Watson. Oh, okay. It's kind of neat.
Naruhodo, you did an excellent job.
Thank you, Professor.
Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you, after all. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend.
Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson. Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital.
Oh, you worked together?
I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world in science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot.
I will.
I'll learn all that I can.
I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. And cuts down anything that's in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes.
That reminds me. What's happened to the woman?
To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder.
Oh yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but...
What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit after all.
No, she's not. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future for Shanghai.
What? Shanghai?
Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country, I'm certain of that.
What? Why not? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Who said that? Oh, it's Osanoga.
It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate...
But what's this about consular jurisdiction?
We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan.
What? We can't try her? But then who? Who's going to bring her to justice?
A British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away where our voices cannot be heard.
But why a consular court?
Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past, now that we've signed the Friendship Treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right.
Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that.
Oh.
Hello, Shark Fin, and thank you for the gift sub, Souls. Thank you so very much. SoulSQ paying forward the gift they got from Forsaken Reaver 9 in the community. Oh, cool. Enjoy your sub, Matt Lambert. This sounds a lot like extraterritorial rights. Oh my god, don't remind me of Tree Man. I don't want to think of Tree Man anymore. Tree Man is banned in this chat room. No Tree Man, he haunts my nightmares. Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our government's making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil. This new era heralded by the start of the 12th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But, Professor? You're right. This is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest Law Carnival, where someone was literally just murdered? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hosonoga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about details. For now, I'll just steal from their kitchen. They can't say shit, I'm the police. I can do whatever I want, I have money! To Law Carnival. Will you accompany us, Professor? Of course, Law Carnival's food is second to none. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release. Oh yes, thank you. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. Never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. That's right, we never really found out a motive. Kazuma. Yes, Ryunosuke. I just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. You really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. What? Come on, be serious. If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it, for being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal combat, I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to, that's all, because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No. I love how in the Ace Attorney universe, the answer of, do you know the laws? No, that's not important. You need your soul and heart. You don't need stupid law practice and law school. No, the ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in, and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you chose to believe in even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stop believing in me. Well, you face seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it. Through your own efforts, because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. It sounds serious. What is... Oh, you're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonoga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Thank you. We'll be right there. And now he's not going to tell me, is he? Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget. Ah, yes, that too. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma, Professor Mikotoba, Susato-san, who acted as my assistant, Inspector Hosonoga, who didn't really play that much of a part, but still. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. Did it! End of case 1! Man, that was a really good first case. Whew. That was a good first case. Like, if I had to rate that on a scale of first cases, that's really up there. I did have a couple issues with the case in general. Was like near the end there, as you saw, there was some like huge logic jumps where we kind of like jumped around the main point, which I saw near the end. Like, I got what they were trying to get me to say. Like, I got it later, but they definitely like made like a curve around the main point of the evidence that we had discovered, and then curved way back around to it later, which confused me and lost me a lot of my life because I was jumping ahead of what it was thinking. But, you know, that's part of the thing. Aside from that, though, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the way this introduced the characters. It made me instantly invested in the character of Ryunosuke, who was for sure going to become a lawyer somehow, some way. It made me invested in Kazuma's position in the world, and it got me interested in the political situation between Japan and, you know, some of Europe. It's also the setting that really makes this game. You know, when I heard it was a Japanese setting, I was like, well, how much are we going to dive into that, you know? Are we just going to make it so that everyone carries around katanas, just going to be Ace Attorney but Japan? But no. It actually plays into the times and how the court system is definitely in its infancy. And, you know, some of the incorrect political things that have to be worked upon. The one ridiculous thing I did find in this case was literally the defendant, not the defendant, but the accused, or no, not the accused, but Miss Giselle drinking the evidence in the court, going like, well, whatever, and then her smashing the evidence on the ground. Like, the case should just be ended there. Like, even if she doesn't get arrested, that should just be like, well, we can't tell now, good job, get away. Like, you know, that shouldn't happen, because it was very obviously intentional. Like, anyone who was there could see that. And I don't know, it just seems silly to even, like, worry about it at that point. The music in this game is fantastic so far, but is it better than the Banana Man Richard Wellington case? Yeah. I'm actually going to agree with Zen on this. I'm going to say this is my favorite first case in the entire series. I think it kicks it off just right, honestly. The music in this game is phenomenal. Like, if I have to say, I think in terms of, like, Ace Attorney soundtracks, I like the first one definitely because of the nostalgia and because of the hype of the tracks really sold the series to people. I like Edgeworth Investigations following that because I think that one had, like, the best composition of its tracks, in my personal opinion. Especially Edgeworth Investigations 2. Those two games had some, like, immaculately composed tracks in them. However, this one, the energy that is coming from the music, the different instrumentation, the way there is definitely this sweeping motion going throughout almost every track. The ta-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, things much like that definitely got my attention. I can't wait to just play more of this game. Unfortunately, we are going to have to wait because I have to post these videos on YouTube first, which I'm going to be doing over the next couple of days, so I'm sorry to say, but the next time we play this game is going to be all the way on Monday, even though I would like to pop it open tomorrow. But I really do want to give people on YouTube a chance to catch up because I haven't been posting these as early as I should have been. So yeah, thank you so much. As for the rest of the week, what we're going to be doing, I imagine some more Strive maybe, but I don't know. I have to think of it. Thank you all for attending, and all of you people who are new to the stream, maybe not new to my channel, but new to the stream in general. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for interacting with me. You guys are what makes streaming so much fun right now. I mean, all of you in general, but, you know, seeing your reactions along with mine, it's like a two-way window, right? You're all here to see what I think about a certain thing and how I interact with the thing. But then it's also like how you interact with the thing as well. Granted, I don't want like tips or like real theories on how cases are going, because like I want my perception of the case to be pure. I don't want to like see someone in the chat make like a guess, like maybe it's this, and then that completely changes my train of thought, making it a very unnatural view of the case that I wouldn't have normally had. What I do like seeing is people commenting on things that I'm already saying or that I'm already thinking on, how ridiculous some things are already. Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed streaming this. It's been so long since I've been allowed to stream a visual novel. And while I don't think I'm maybe picking up new people from Twitch, which is fine, I am just genuinely enjoying myself, which is the most important part of all of this. I also feel like my ability to speak has been improving again with playing visual novels instead of playing things where I'm mostly silent all the time. So I really miss that. Would you like me to crack down on that? Yeah, I mean, that would be helpful, yes. Obviously, don't just, like, flat out ban people. Like, you said a thing, you guessed that the man's blood is actually purple, ban. But, like, you know, maybe remove a comment and, like, send them a tiny warning. Like, hey, maybe, you know, like, leave theories behind, you know. Would be helpful. With myself and others, yeah. As I said, everyone's been good so far. I haven't seen anything so far that was like, oh no, you spoiled the case for me. You know, nothing was like that. You were all fine. But just for future references, because Twitch is so much harder to moderate than, like, YouTube in general. Because I remember on YouTube when I was streaming Danganronpa, I went to go stream... I was streaming a different game, actually, on Twitch, and I went to go stream it, and someone came in my chat and was like, what'd you think about the part where Angie did this? And I was like, what? And they were like, oh shit, I thought you'd gotten to that point already, I'm so sorry. And I was like, oh, it's okay, but be more careful, please. You know, just things like that. Yeah, well, I'm gonna end the stream here. You'll be able to see everything over on YouTube that you want to. I'm going to leave you all with a good friend I haven't spoken to in a moment here. Being my friend, who's a ghost VTuber by the name of Bakihana Kamini. Please say hello to her and be kind, polite, and enjoy their stream. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Red note.